Hi guys, and welcome to another amazing episode of Food Banter with Sophia. I remain your host, Sophia the First. And today's episode, we're going to be talking about, we're going to be embarking on a global culinary adventure around the world, right? We're going to be touching those your favorite meals. What is it that they call it in other parts of the world? Like you will be surprised that that's your native dish, or those are your favorite cuisine. It is in other country and they just call it a different name. So stay tuned, and if you have not subscribed at this point, I don't know what you're waiting for. Subscribe. Thank you. Bye. So let's dive right into it. Okay, so before we even go to talk about, what is it that your favorite dish is calling about the world, like what is that international language of food? Like food is food everywhere. Like food is food in Jamaica, food is in Australia, food is food in Nigeria, food is food in America. Like that's one thing that's one name it's like it's everywhere. Like food is called food in every part of the world, right? So maybe the dishes that you eat, in terms of the flavor, in terms of how it is being made, right, changes across different parts of the world, but food is food everywhere, and it's something that is amazing. It brings everybody together, makes everybody happy, right? So let's dive into different kinds of dishes and what they're calling in other parts of the world. So the first that we have here is from pommes frites to French fries. Did you know that French fries is also called pommes frites, right? In Australia, right, it's called pommes frites, right? I hope I'm not murdering that spelling. Oh, it's not in Australia, it is in Belgium. In Belgium it is called pommes frites, like fries, French fries, like the Americans or the British call it, right? In Australia it's called pommes frites. Oh god, the Nigerian me is showing you, like the Igala and the Kogi in me is showing you, like I'm struggling to pronounce pommes frites. Like, in case I mother it, I apologize. I'm going to be putting the spelling of it below, right? So, and while in France, they call it frites, right? So the US people, they call potatoes, right? French fries. The British call it French fries. In Belgium, it's called pommes frites, while in France it is called frites. Like that's pretty much amazing, because I'm pretty sure you didn't know that if you're out in Belgium or you're out in France and you're craving that delicious meal that you really like yeah, Lagos big girls and French fries and chicken. Like I don't even want to talk about it, because what is it? Please just get another meal. What's Anyways, no offense to people that like French fries. Me, I do not really dig French fries, right? I can eat it on a bad day, but not on a good day at all. I prefer yam wedges. That's sort of like my go-to. It's no news. I'm a yam lover here. So fries, French fries, like it's called in the British, US or UK, right? It's called pommes frites in Belgium, and then it's called frites only in France. So next time you are in Belgium or you find yourself in France and you're craving potatoes or French fries, know that it is called pommes frites and frites in France. So now you know. If you didn't know, that's the okay. I'm trying to control my laugh and not like laugh that very laugh bad laugh that your mouth is everywhere. I'm trying to. Anyways, let's go to what we're talking about here. So that's pommes frites to French fries. So let's move on to pancake, crepes, and hotcakes. Like, so some people call it pancakes, some people call it crepes, and some people call it hotcakes. Like in different parts of the world, right? So US, British, they call it pancakes, right? I love pancakes. Like I'm a sucker for pancake. Before even going to who calls it pancake, who calls it hotcakes, and who calls it crepes, right? I'm just going to talk about how I love pancakes. Like I love pancake, but it's weird that I do not even eat pancake every time, because if I eat something that I love all the time, I would get tired. So I try to stay away from, eating pancakes all the time, because it's very tiring. I like my pancake plain. I do not really like it with syrup. So I'm eating it with eggs or sausages, right? Or um strawberry or chocolate chips in it. That's sort of like my go-to for pancakes, right? Or blueberries, like jam or something in it, like that would just really make it amazing. So let's go back to the different people or the different countries and how they call pancake, right? So it's like a breakfast and a brunch meal. Everybody's either having it for breakfast or for brunch. In France, they call it crepes, right? In France, they call it crepes. Meanwhile, in Australia, they call it hot cakes. And in America or the US, they call it pancakes. So in Australia, they call it hot cakes. In France, they call it crepes. Well, while in the US or in the UK, they call it pancakes. And in Nigeria, yeah, we call it pancakes. But when you think about it though, like the way they make pancakes in different parts of the world is sort of different. Like the way you make pancakes in um France, the way they make pancakes in the US is different. Like even the way we make pancakes here in Nigeria, right? Growing up, like I used to eat pancakes with my aunt or my mom would make pancakes, and they would add like pepper, onion, and a little bit of salt and seasoning to it. Like it's different from the regular pancake. Now when I think about it, like that's sort of like the signature pancake for us here in Nigeria. A lot of kids grew up eating that kind of pancake. But now that I'm grown, I don't necessarily even venture. I don't even try that pancakes anymore. Like for a very very long time, I used to think that pancakes you have to have pepper and onion in it to spice it. Maybe because as Nigerians we like everything spicy. Majority of our food is we want that heat, not necessarily, hot, spicy. You can't breathe, you can't feel your tongue, but we want that hint of spice in our meal. And that would explain why you would add pepper to pancakes. Like, supposed to just be something really soothing. But anyways, that's culture, and that's how one dish here is sort of like different in every part of the world. Aside from the names, the way they prepare it, can be different. Most of the time is sort of like different in other parts of the world. So moving on from pancakes, we have sushi. Interestingly, in like different parts of in Japan, right? The way they even call sushi, they call sushi sashimi, or they call it nigiri, right? It's the same. Like it has like the same, it's made from the same thing: rice, veggies, or raw fish, or cooked fish, or depends on what you like, and it has all sorts to dip it in, right? So depends on where you are in Japan, right? They can call it nigiri, they can call it sashimi, or they can call it sushi. Even the originators of sushi, right? So a California roll may be called an inside roll, right? While in the United States they have like a different name for like sushi. They call it donjon roll or rainbow roll. Rainbow roll. Anyways, I don't know why they would call it rainbow roll, but my guess would be because of the colors of the veggies, the raw fish, the um green thing that they used to wrap it. I don't know the name. I will be putting it down below to make it crispy, right? Maybe that's why they call it rainbow roll, because of the colors that it has. So sushi is also one very diverse meal that you know in different parts of the world people have sort of like different countries have added their own personal touch to the meal to make it more friendly and more acceptable in that part of the world. So we can't talk about all these, dishes we're talking about, African delicacies, right? Like, did you know that, as a Nigerian, you cook what fermented cassava, soaked, cooked, pounded, and that you and I both know as fufu. It's called samp in South Africa, and it's called ngali in Kenya, right? Did you know that? Did you know that? So whenever if you are traveling and you find yourself in South Africa, or you find yourself in Kenya, right? In South Africa they call it samp, and well, in Kenya they call it ugali. In Ghana they call it fufu, right? Fufu is fufu in Ghana. There are still some other countries that still call this thing the same, but there are one or two other countries that it will have a different name while you're traveling. So next time you're traveling and you're thinking of what to eat, just know that a whole lot of countries share, eat the same food. Most times it's just the name they call it, or the way they prepare it. So jollof rice is pretty much jollof rice across, African countries, right? Something that is sort of like similar to jollof rice in a non-African country, that is in France, is paella, right? So that sort of like has like yeah, it's like it has like vegetable base, broth, and the rest. Then you're cooking it in like a flat cooking utensils. It's expected to be burnt, crispy underneath, right? But has you can stuff it with seafood. Um, you can even do surf and turf on the paella. Surf and turf is like you're using seafood, and then you're using like meat from land. So that's the idea of surf and turf. So paella is something that is paella or paella. I can't really say. It would still reflect back to my heritage and where I'm from, right? But I hope I'm not murdering it, right? I will be putting the picture of it, how similar it looks to jollof rice and paella, so you see what I'm talking about, right? And let's take a look at other food, right? That have like the same name, that is the same everywhere in the world, right? What you call this is what you call that, and what you call that, maybe with a little bit of tweak here and there, right? There's sort of like difference in it. So let's see, taco. So I think taco is taco everywhere. Taco is taco in Nigeria. Taco is taco in Mexico. Taco is taco in the United States. Tacos is tacos in UK, Congo, every part of the world. That is if you're eating taco. Maybe and maybe there is like a different twist to it. They might not necessarily call it taco there, but they might call it a different name, which brings us back to what we're talking about what you eat right here or in your country and what it is called somewhere else. All right, most times it is not the same 100%, but it has like, let's say, like an 80% ingredients that you would use in your country with a little bit of tweak here in another country, right? So taco is pretty much taco in a whole lot of places. Pizza. I Okay, I like pizza. I'm not a fan of pizza, but I would pizza. I would pizza if I must, right? It's not really those things that come to my mind. Oh, I want to eat pizza. I want to. It's not really my go-to food or my go-to snack or whatever it is, in whatever category you want to put it inside, right? It's a meal, but it's pretty decent, and it's known as pizza worldwide, every part of the country, every part of the world rather, right? Oh, there is paella, yeah, right. Like I said, this can be um it's more or less like the same as jollof rice in West Africans, right? In no rather in Africa, right? So paella is something that's in France, in Europe, it's sort of like similar to jollof rice. What do we have here? We have pierogi. I'm sorry if I murdered that name. Right, a Polish dumpling dish made with an unleavened dough and filled with various ingredients such as potato, cheese, meat, or fruits, then boiled and fried. This can even be similar to dumplings, right? It's sort of like has um and last but not the least we have kimchi. Kimchi. You know, when I watch TikTok or I'm on Instagram, I see people making kimchi a lot. Like I would want to try it though, if I'm being honest. Like I'm not really a savory kind of person, but they make it look really nice. It's like vegetable that is soaked with salt and a whole lot of things. Like if you've never tried kimchi before and you want to try kimchi, I'm going to be making a video of where I make kimchi, like where I try it. But hold on, we've been talking and talking and talking. If you haven't subscribed at this point, take a moment, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, turn on your post notification. Very, very important. Turn on your post notification so you get to see this beautiful girl on your screen. I remain Sophia the First. I just had to chip that in because you can't be watching me talk and you haven't subscribed. Like, do you want to miss out on me giving you useful information where you travel, everything that you need to know about food? I guess not. That was just me telling you to just subscribe, right? So on a lighter note, please subscribe, hit that like button, and turn on your post notification. What do we have here again? Right, so kimchi was the last of the dish. It's a traditional Korean side dish, right? It's not really a main dish, like it's a side dish that you add if you're eating noodles, if you're eating rice, whatever it is that you're eating, like Koreans really, really, really love sushi. Like there are different recipes for sushis, rather kimchi, right, online, and I'm going to give it a try though. I'm going to give it a try. I'm going to give it a try and put out the video, and you guys can try it at home and tell me what you actually do think about this really famous Korean dish called um kimchi. And there you have it, guys. There you have it, foodies. There you have it, food banter. Right? We've gone on a word culinary lexicon. Whatever name that you call your dish, whether you're calling it apple, whether you're calling it plum, in another part of the world. One thing is for sure, right? Food has a way of bringing everybody together and putting a smile on your faces. Like, hmm, the thought of food, like even before I eat it, it sort of like makes me really happy. Like it makes me salivate because I'm like, I'm going to have this food. I'm going to have this. Maybe it's tied back to the fact that I'm a chef and I know that whatever food that I'm craving and I cook, I'm going to prepare it very well. So that's also there though. So yeah, that's one perks of being a chef, like always making food that you're craving, always making your cravings anytime, any day. All you just have to do is get yourself in the kitchen and whip yourself something to eat. Anyways, until next time, I remain your amazing host, Sophia the First at Food Banter. Let's keep stirring conversations. Let's keep stirring conversations and savoring moments at Food Banter with Sophia. Bye. Remember to subscribe. Mwah.